10 years ago I started the game of golf. This was the driver that I bought brand new. So let's see how I get on with it nowadays. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Burford Golf Lab. And before I get into this video, I have to draw the winner from the Titleist MB irons in the last video. So if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend going and watching it. I basically picked up this drive in this video, the irons and a 3-wood and a bag for £100. I thought it was a great deal for the clubs and the condition that they were in. All you had to do is like the video, subscribe and comment why you wanted to punish yourself. So obviously if you want to win the driver for this video, then obviously do that. But I need to pick the winner for those irons. I'm going to pick a random comment with this and we'll see who wins. Michael Smith. I took up golf in the late 80s. John Letter blades, proper old school. Even had the 1 iron to wedge. Had cavity irons after that for years. Then had Titleist MB 714, 7 iron, 35 degrees. You went in. You went in, Michael. It's a big comment. I'm not going to read it all because this needs to be a short video. But anyway, congratulations. I'm going to reply to that comment. All you need to do is send me your address and I'll get them shipped out to you. So let's look at this Cleveland highball because it has a stiff 65-gram shaft in it, which I don't think came standard in this driver. 9.5 degree loft. So actually this drive on the outset is quite well suited to me. Obviously I'd probably want it slightly lower in degree and slightly stiffer, but it's not going to be that far away. So it should be a good test to see what ball speed I can produce on this, because I'm going to go in. I'm going to try. I've warmed up. I'm going to try and hit this. Let's see what ball speeds I can get out of this. 184 at the moment with the standard length driver, 45 inches and everything else. At the moment my PB ball speed is 184. That's the only way I can basically compare driver from driver. How fast can I hit it? How consistent am I with it? What ball speed does it produce? And then a multi-compound grip that has seen better days. Now, if you wanted this particular driver, for example, I imagine you'll probably be able to buy it for £30, £40, something like that on eBay, maybe less. It came with a head cover as well, which is good. Or you could win it. Just comment, like, subscribe. And I got down from 24 to 12 with this thing, if I remember correctly, and then I traded up to the 913 Titleist driver with a very expensive shaft. I think the driver cost me about £500. It was 300 quid just for the shaft. I might still have that driver actually. I might do a test on it. But yeah, anyway, the one thing I do remember from this, and if you've ever hit it, you'll know, it sounds awful. Like, very tinny, very hollow, and something that I'm obviously going to have a look at. It was loud, and it was the time when the Nike 20XIs I think just came out, and they were like pebbles. And the one thing I've learned from golf is that it doesn't matter what numbers as a club fitter or a professional, it doesn't matter what numbers you're showing the customer, distance, yardage, dispersion, whatever you want to call it, if it sounds and feels awful, they're not buying it. And those Nike balls on paper were a great ball, but they sounded like a rock and people lost confidence. And if you lose confidence, you're not going to buy it. I used those balls with this. I deafened my playing partners. It was so loud. It basically sounded like the face cracked every time I hit it. It didn't, because it's a well-made driver. But the reason that they put this in here was to lower the CG down here. So now you see the Ping G400 Max. They put all these weights at the far back here, for example, to get that high launch. The design of this was meant that because it's not up here, the CG wouldn't be in the middle. It'd be even lower for that higher launch. So in theory, it sounded great. But by doing that, you're not really dampening the sound when it comes off that face. And that is why every manufacturer to date that brings out a driver has a carbon crown. Not to make it lighter. Okay, it does make it lighter, but it's not going to make a significant difference. The carbon crown, the bottom, everything carbon dampens that sound, which means when you hit it, it sounds solid. It sounds well made. It sounds like a gun going off. Therefore, it sounds like you want to buy it. You hit it and you're like, oh, that sounds nice. That is why carbon is in every driver now, and that is also why they're so much more expensive, because carbon is a lot more harder or a lot higher price to make, put on and everything else. Yes, it does make the head lighter, but it's the drag of the head that slows your club head down at the end of the day. It's like a parachute, and if I just had the same weight on the end of a stick, for example, so you take all that carbon and that whatever, put it in a tiny little ball, compact end of your shaft, your club head mile an hour speed is going to go up by 5, 6, purely because there's no drag. So carbon, sound, that's why everything sounds better today. But this has no carbon, and it's got a funny shape on it, and it sounds awful. So we're going to hear what it sounds like, but what I want to know is, let's see how far I can hit it. Let's see what ball speeds it produce. This was the driver that obviously I started the game with. Arguably the most fun part of the game ever, because you're winning every monthly medal because you keep shooting under your handicap. And yeah, it was a driver that I basically cut my teeth on. So let's see how it performs. I'm going to go down here, hole 6 at Celtic Manor, a few shots over the water, and see how far we can cut it and obviously get the ball down there. We're down here, Celtic Manor, hole 6, water all down the right hand side, so let's see how many I hit in the water. But ball speed's the main one I'm worried about, because, well, not worried about, but I want to look at. It's not going to win a PB. It's just not low spinning enough, I don't think, in my eyes. But I want to see how loud this thing is. You guys hopefully can hear it. As well as what kind of ball speeds does it produce. I want to see if I can get a 180 out of it. 180 would be impressive for a driver that's about 10 years old, 11 years old nowadays. Right, a few warm-up ones. You can see that's quite high launching. I don't think I've cut enough of the corner off to unfortunately make the fairway. Only 269. Ball speed 170-ish. What was the spin rate? 4,000. That's a lot. No wonder that ballooned so much. Okay, I'm going to change the shot tracer so we can see the whole flight. Let's hit a few more. The sound of it is just so loud. Is that going to hold on? Is that going to hold on? No, it's just found the water. 170 ball speed. It's up there. It's up there. Obviously, it's nowhere near my PB. That spin rate's the one that's killing it, unfortunately. It's just launching too bad. Spin rate's a tiny bit high. You drop that by 1,000, you'll see a difference in about 20, 30 yards. And that's the majority of what drivers do nowadays. Right, let's ramp it up. Let's get a bit faster. I want to see a 180 with this bad boy. I mean, that is hit. I can't really get that more out of the middle. And I think that's a decent flight as well. We've hit the 300-yard mark and we're in play. 172. Another 8 miles an hour. That could be it. That could be 180 plus. You can see how high it's now going though, because the spin rate, the harder you hit it, more the ball's going to spin. I mean, it's going no further than like a 170 ball speed. 177. Needed a bit more. She's the one. 180.2 I'm going in with. Again, literally nowhere because it just spins so much. 178. God damn it. Okay, now this is it. This is the one. I don't care where it goes. I'm going to hit it so hard. We're getting a 180 on the board. She's the one. In the bunker, but do we care? Well, yeah, probably if we're on the golf course. That's 180-ish, if I ever felt it. Now I've got like 160 yards. There it is, 180. Now I've got like a 160 yard bunker shot into the green. Great shot, well done. Okay, I hit my goal, so mission successful. 180 miles an hour with this driver. So, what I can tell you is, when it comes down to ball speed, especially even over the 10, 15 years, let's say 10 years, we're not talking much. I mean, as you saw, I hit just as long drives with like a 165, 166 ball speed as I was at 180. So don't always be so keen on what the ball speed of your driver produces, especially in terms of a fitting. Spin rate is the key one, and I lost a lot of distance. The harder I hit it, the more the ball spun, therefore it didn't go as far. Now I still hit it 300, I think my max was 314 yards, for example, which is still like, that's enough. Do you know what I mean? You don't need any more on that. It's going to be one less iron or one more iron either side of it. Consistency was the key. Sounded awful, like really loud. But at the end of the day, if you're just starting the game and you want something that's going to be ultra forgiving, because this is a very forgiving driver, and it's not going to set you back a lot. And in terms of starting the game, in terms of consistency, spin rate is your friend. So in terms of consistency, you're starting the game, you're 20 plus higher above in terms of handicap, and you swing it relatively fast, this isn't a bad start, for example. And you're not going to lose any money. You can sell it to someone else for 20 quid, 30 quid anyway. In terms of the overall feel and sound was, yes, a bit tinny. Feel wise, it felt great out the middle. Toe and heel, it's definitely not as forgiving as some of the clubs out there today. I've done a recent video on £100 drivers, Ping G series, Ping G anything, most forgiving, there's no question. But out the middle, I can't knock it. It comes off near as fast as some of the drivers out there. We're talking, I'm 4 miles an hour off my personal best, and this thing's 10 years old and a tenth of the price of some of these drivers. So in terms of ball speed, it's as good. The only difference is when you're buying second-hand clubs, it's making sure you're buying the right driver for your swing, and that takes years and years and years of knowing right combination. Even now, I could try and buy a club off eBay thinking that's going to be great for my swing, but I hit it and the spin rate's too high, so on and so forth. So guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As I said, if you want to win this driver, I will ship it out to one of you. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you later.